Elizabeth Conguisi is going to...
Hey, hey!
Conguisi.
Hey, hey!
Good evening, everyone. It was September 1968. I was 17 years old, and I had just graduated from high school. At the last minute, my friend Diane and I decided that we were going to go to junior college. We really weren't junior. We weren't really college material. Her mom was the secretary to the dean. We got our classes, no problem, and she also got us a job. We were to work in the faculty activities office. We made mimeograph copies. We were flying some days. And we also made coffee. We would wheel it out on a cart through the hallways to the faculty meetings. Now the building that we were in was 3 stories high, brown school-type building, very similar to the high school that we went to, and this is on the northwest side of Chicago. The big difference, you could smoke, you were in college. At the main entrance, they had these 2 huge garbage cans with ashtrays on top. We would wheel our carts with our mini skirts, our go-go boots, and for some reason, we wore wigs. I think it was just because we partied too much the night before and we really didn't want to have to do our hair, so we would put on these wigs. And we'd roll through the cloud of smoke. One day, as I was rolling through the cloud of smoke, I spotted him. He's about 5'5". Now this is the 60s. He was a greaser. He had his hair slicked back, sharkskin pants, Italian knit shirt, and there he was with his cigarette, puffing away. I was like, oh my God, I have to talk to him. Delete that guy. I was enrolled in a hospitality management program. The fellow that I had befriended in class happened to know this young man that I was eyeing. Peter would pick me up. We would drive downtown to the Conrad Hilton, to the bowels of this big hotel where we had our class. Half the time we got lost in the hotel. And he knew who I found out was Bob, or as his friends called him, Willie. Now, he'll tell you they called him Willie because he wiggled while he walked.
Yeah, baby.
Before I knew it, I had secured a date. Our first date was to see Johnny Mathis, the epitome of love. Chances are. We drove down to McCormick Place downtown. We saw the concert, and I was in love. Bob was really easy for me to talk to. We were never at a loss for words with each other. We would drive around in his big Buick Electra deuce and a quarter with bench seats, and every so often he'd do a sharp left turn. We called it an SOB. Slide over, baby. The next thing I know, I'd be right next to him and he would pull up my thigh. Of course, I had a mini skirt on. I'm sure my dad remembers that. Before I knew it, we celebrated our first year anniversary. And everything was great. We were in love. I was in love, that was for sure. But it was also a very tumultuous time for us. We were young. We had friends going to Vietnam and not coming back. We had friends that came back and were wounded. This was also the time of the draft. They had the draft lottery on December 1st, 1969. They took the days of the year, including February 29th, They put them in a box. Everyone was glued to the TV set. One by one, they started to pull the numbers. July 24th came out as number 23. July 24th is Bob's birthday. We were devastated. We were sure he was going to go to Vietnam. There was no question about it. Fortunately, Bob had the foresight to sign up for the National Guard. And at that time, National Guard stayed home. They didn't leave the state. Just before they were going to call him to go to Vietnam, they called him for the National Guard. We were thrilled, elated. It was like the best thing that could ever happen. Our friends were getting married. Chucky and Mary got married, Tom and Kathy got married, Mickey and Kay got married, Charlie and Ronnie got married. That was the first time they got married. But they got married too. Bob went off to boot camp. I wrote, I love you. It's terrible without you. I can't bear it. Before we know it, the 6 months have passed. He wrote me, I wrote him, love, love, love. The next thing I know, we're down at graduation. Now, being a girl of the 60s, we didn't ask boys to go out, we didn't ask men to go out. I expected him to read my mind. I thought I was gonna come home with an engagement ring, or at least a proposal. His mother and I got back on the plane with zip, nada, nothing. I was so angry. I said, I'm gonna fix you. I broke up with him. I sent him a Dear John letter. Of course, now he says, I'm not John, I'm Bob. It was Dear John anyway. That was the early 70s. I didn't see him for a long time, though I thought about him. I dated quite a few guys. Actually found a couple that I thought I could live with and marry. And I did get married. When I was 32, I got married for the first time. Within 5 years, I was getting a divorce. Again, I was upset, very upset. I had also taken a job with United Airlines. I was now on the East Coast. I flew back to Chicago, my hometown, to visit my family, and I saw a friend of mine, Jerry Wells. I hadn't seen Jerry for a while, but we had spoken over the years. When I got off the plane, she said to me, you know, you really should go back with Willie. I was like, please don't bother me. I don't want to know anything about men. I was in the middle of what I thought was a terrible divorce, which now I know was a great divorce. And I was like, no, forget it. We planned a trip to Las Vegas. I went back to New Jersey. On my way back to pick her up at O'Hare Airport, I get off the plane again, and there she is with the phone. Yeah. Who is it? She goes, it's Willie. I go, well, this was now 1989. It was before 9/11. You could easily scoot in and out of the airport, no problem. I finally said, hi. He said, hi. Still very comfortable to talk to him. He said, will you meet me for a drink? The flight doesn't leave till 4. It's now 12:30, plenty of time. I said, okay, pick me up at door 1G. We scurry out to 1G, picks me up, slide into the car. Seatbelts this time, no SOBs. And off we go to the Marriott on Higgins and Cumberland. Now we used to go there all the time because they had a Hawaiian restaurant there. And we loved to sit with the little foo-foo drinks and the coconut with the pineapple and the umbrellas and stuff. This time we sat at the bar. I had a scotch and water and he had a beer. We talked and picked up like we had just seen each other that morning. It was incredible for me. I had always known that Bob was the love of my life. And I regretted all those years that I gave him up. He walked me out to the car to take me back to the airport, and he kissed me. He has the most luscious lips and these beautiful Paul Newman eyes. I melted all over again. That was October of 1989. On October 20th, 2015, Bob and I celebrated our 20th anniversary. This time I didn't take anything for granted. You remember I told you I worked for United Airlines? This time I said, marry me, fly free.
Wow. Another hand for Lizbeth. Come on. And so here's the love and heartbreak part of those, right? When you hear the love stories, the heartbreak is, that means she's really happy and taken, everybody. Sorry. But we love her for it. And I want you guys to, it's important to be taking notes during these stories, because to make the SOB, you need to make a hard
Left.
left. I saw at least one person say right. You make a right, she's into the passenger door. Take notes.